To me, success is being in the moment and being happy with yourself. Yes, we import a lot of manganese to different countries like China and India for the steel plants, but now we're working towards the clean energy project.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Success Stories Talk Show Season 2, presented by Trident Communications. I'm Alka, your host for today, and our guest for today is Ms. Shamli Rathore. She is an entrepreneur, philanthropist, social activist, writer, and also a sports enthusiast. So, now that we have her here with us on our show today, let's talk about her journey of success. Hello, Shamli. How are you?
Hi, Alka. How are you doing?
I have been great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us today in our episode of Success Stories.
Right. It's a fabulous shows. I've watched some episodes and they are incredible.
All right. So, Shamli, please tell us something about yourself.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur. I currently live in India, but I have most of my businesses in Africa where I promote education, farming, commodity trading, and we are also into mining and a clean energy.
All right. So, Shamli, how did this journey as an entrepreneur begin?
Well, I in different kind of jobs. Like I'm a software engineer. I also used to fly for United Airlines, and while wanted to explore the world, but coming back to India was one of my dream and to work for my country. So in 2003, I came back from Canada and I started working for my country here. So there was a big gap in a few businesses which we recognized, and there was a lot of demand for it in Africa, and there were certain African products which were really needed in India, like manganese is a big, there's a big huge demand for it, and for the gems from Africa. So I did the gapping there, and I started, promoting the Indian universities in Africa. Now we are NIT in Africa, especially in Zambia, and then we teach Indian courses through the university. We integrate in Zambian university itself, and we also offer online degrees, the Indian government approved online degrees in Africa. So that saves an African student money of traveling and living away from the family. Those kind of expenses are taken care of, and it becomes reasonable. At the same time, they have a chance to a higher education through online degrees. At the same time, the farming also, in India you don't find a big chunk of land, and it doesn't because the soil is so exploited, and it doesn't become very economical viable to do your farming in India, because you don't have that kind of a vast land which are available in Africa, and the soil is virgin, and there were a lot of demand in Europe to find, supply the organic products. So we did that capping and we started with the farming. Now we are working on the new projects with companies and all. So this is how, the idea was to close the capping and to find something which is efficiently be available for everyone.
All right. So now that you have shared that, what was the idea behind, setting up the first, like being the first company who set up a base and started commercial farming in Africa and started with the commodity trading. So I
Right.
want to know that who has been the biggest support and inspiration in this journey?
A lot of people there, from my father to brother to my husband, the whole family. I think it's a sum total of people which inspire you. You can always get inspired, from different people. But it has been inbuilt in me since childhood to be paying your own bills, and we always wanted to do something for the community at a large. So for that, if you enterprise, you end up giving jobs to so many people. You kind of come up with a new idea which can really change and make a difference in the society. So that inspires me the most.
All right. So what got you into social activities? Like, tell us something about the social work that you do and how you're helping people.
So, since last year in Corona, while we were getting the news in India that Corona didn't hit, we were seeing that a lot of American doctors or people in UK also, they didn't have much of a protective care. So I was just into PVC compound manufacturing in India, but we realized that doctors, we need to do something for the doctors. So we started manufacturing with our PVC grade plastic. We started manufacturing protective gear for the doctors. So the for whole year, I was able to supply to WHO. We did a lot of export to Europe also. Within India also, we picked up lot of many government tenders. So it was a selfless thought which inspired me to do certain work. And this year we are working with many doctors doing the webinar about how people can save themselves from the corona, how they can recover with the post COVID, how they can be helped in what symptoms they have to watch. So we have done many webinars with Indian Medical Association, and for that, many organization has recognized my work. I'm closely working with the ministries, also suggesting them what kind of protocols can be brought in so that we can save the patients who are still recovering from the corona, and how we can prepare ourselves for the third wave. Thank you.
We are like really happy to know all this noble work that you have done in the past 1 year, and yeah, kudos to that.
Thank you.
So being into so many things like social work and then your profession, so is there an unforgettable moment that you would like to share with the audience?
There are many, like in one of my webinar, just after the webinar, I got a call from a doctor who said that, this information was so much important. Sometimes the patient would suggest that, this kind of treatment can help me, but the doctors aren't prepared because they don't know much for protocol. The new information, the new researches are not out there. And by the time the government picks it up and, puts it as a protocol, it becomes too late for the patient. So I was involved in, setting up few oxygen plant, helping the authorities with, opening of the oxygen plants. But giving out oxygen wasn't helping. But these seminars, whenever I've done it, I get calls from doctors saying this is so helpful. I was able to help my patient. The patients are recovering, or some critical collapse patient has recovered. So that leaves you with the thought that at least you did something. You were able to save few lives. If I'm not able to touch everybody, but yes, few lives have been saved, and that gives me a satisfaction, and it leaves you with a memory, yeah, that this could be done.
Absolutely. So how do you balance your personal and professional life with so much going on?
Yeah, so I give credit to my spiritual Guruji for this, because he always says, that there should be a time which you want to work, and you don't go crazy about. I was very materialistic person. I always wanted to be on the top of the things, always wanted to be the best entrepreneur or whatever. But he balanced me out. He taught me how to live from moment to moment, and now that is very much part of my life. So that creates a balance, that wherever I am, I'm happy.
All right. So as you said that you wanted to be on top of everything, so is there any regret, like there was something that you always wanted to do but you couldn't because of the lack of time, and that you'd like to share?
Yeah, few of the hobbies, which I wasn't able to. I'm a good dancer, but I wanted to pursue dancing as in, like a profession also. But yes, of course, then you can't do everything. But yeah, I still enjoy dancing, and one of the regret. But life is too long. I don't know. I can just pick up salsa next day.
Yeah. So all the best. That I really hope that you pursue it someday.
Mm.
So with all
Yeah,
these
that's
things going on,
yeah.
with all these things going on, are there any upcoming projects that you have in your mind and you'd like to share with the viewers?
Yes, we import a lot of manganese to different countries like China and India for the steel plants. But now we're working towards the clean energy project. Now, there are a lot of electrical vehicles which are coming out, and the batteries require a lot of manganese oxide. So we are putting up a plant in Zambia where we would not be just not importing the manganese, we would be making MnO2, which is required in solar energy, which is required in electrical vehicles, which is required in for cleaning water projects. So this is something which is very close to heart, and it is very good for the environment. And we will see lot many electrical vehicles in the battery inside would be made from MnO2. So that's what I'm working at.
Okay, all the best for that as well. So, World Humanitarian Foundation is our associated partner and they work towards women empowerment. So, what are your views about women around the world?
Well, I also had a few women organization here. Jiva is one of this. I just finished a meeting here. So, for the women, I will say that they are so much capable. I'm not say that they are better than men or they're less than men, but if they just recognize their potential and change one woman, you change a century. Because just one woman doesn't just affect a home, her children, or her all the relationships. She changes the whole society, and the society changes the whole city and then country. So it can change a whole century. I recently heard that if you just make her recognize her potential, and if she unleashes that, there is so much more. This world would be a much better place if they all take that charge of their life.
That is a really nice thought. And as we are heading towards the end of today's episode, and since the name of our show is Success Stories, so if you had to define success, so what would the definition be?
To me, success is being in the moment and being happy with yourself. I wouldn't say that I was always successful. Success is a journey, There can never be an end. I might be on the top of the things today, I might not be. But if I have a potential to do it all over again, and being continuous at a pace, then I will say that I led my life successfully, and it's just not going to be about you. You have to think about your near and dear ones, about your society, about your community, about the country. So if you make one positive change in the world, I think your life is quite successful. Yes.
So before we leave and we bring an end to today's episode, is there one last message that you would like to, share with the viewers?
Well, this is a brilliant show. I'm sure you hook onto the show and try and communication. You're doing an excellent show there. I love to see many more of your shows out there. And I'll just say, stay cool, stay safe, and help other people. Let's make this world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shamli, for taking out your time for this episode of Success Stories and for this lovely talk with you.
Thank you for being so patient with me. Thanks.
And thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us today on this episode of Success Stories. And for more such stories, just stay tuned and please subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss out on any notifications, because all our shows are out on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So until the next one airs up, just stay tuned, stay safe, and bye-bye.